Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video where we have been having some fun with one of the most oppressive, the most spammy, the most dangerous and scary Pokemon in the Go Battle League. That is Shadow Primeape, and we're gonna get straight into the battles. This thing can be pretty ridiculous. Redonkulous, as the kids say. We're battling against the Tinkaton here in game number 1, and this fairy type is also a steel type, so we dish out neutral damage here. Not the worst matchup for Primeape. You see, after one Rage Fist, boosting our attack every time, these Karate Chops start to add up a little bit more. We're going to shield the Bulldoze. Could probably withstand one Bulldoze, but we don't want to risk them going for the play rough with a big brain play, so we're going to respect it, and we are able to grab a Protect Shield here. Now, can we get the full Karate Chop down is the question. Well, we're not going to find out because they swap into a Spiritomb, and we are going to get off a third Rage Fist here. This is double boosted, connects, and I decided to stay in as to not switch lock myself. And we're going to come in actually with Corviknight to tank some of this energy. And check out this play. This ends up working out quite nicely for us. We tank the Rock Tomb, and we're going to go for a massive Poison Sting down. We get the perfect Poison Sting down in 6 and have all this energy on our Drapion. What is going to be in the back? It's going to be a Dusclops. This is absolutely perfect. We know that there is still a Tinkaton. However, it is quite low. And I think we are in a pretty good position here. Going to overfarm a little bit. Go for this Aqua Tail. Opponent's in a pretty dire situation. Do they use the last shield here? No, they're going to save it for Dusclops. But they realize that we're going to get to another charge attack. And then even if they got rid of Drapion, there would still be a very healthy Corviknight to deal with. So that worked out quite well for us, how that first battle played out. And I think that might have been our first game switching to this team. We've been running a slightly different team, or a very different team, and kind of been a little bit up and down in the Go Battle League now. Oh, wow. We see a Shadow Grimer. Pretty crazy pick. But we're going to stay in momentarily at least. Go for the Rage Fist. Man, does some really solid damage for such a cheap energy cost move. It's really not that powerful of an attack, but coming from a Shadow Primeape, always impressive the damage it can inflict. Gonna go for another Rage Fist here against this Golisopod. It connects. We're gonna swap into Drapion right away. Drapion, and we're gonna actually shield the Aqua Jet. Interesting decision. I guess what I wanted was extra health where the Grimer can't really afford to farm me down. They actually commit a Protect Shield to get off another Aqua Jet here, but I'm feeling pretty good about my ability to sting down. We want to be careful of the snipe attempt with Grimer, so we're going to throw this Aqua Tail and only one sting off my next Aqua Tail, and they let it go. And now what is going to come in? We are down a Protect Shield. It's going to be Talonflame. Uh-oh. This looks kind of rough. I don't know if we're going to be able to close this out because... Okay, we switch into Corviknight. Get to a Sky Attack here. Now, the Talonflame has a ton of energy. They're going to start firing off here momentarily. But this is really awkward for us because we're still 2 Poison Stings away on Drapion. So they farm us down. They've got to move loaded. I decide to come in with Primeape, knowing they'll have to expend energy, but the problem is, unless I get like damage registration error, I think they have us here, but they actually thought we were 1 away, so a slight mistake by the opponent, and I guess this is why you play till the very end. Our opponent makes a very slight misplay. I know no one watching this video in the comments has ever made a misplay before, but I certainly have. And I think they were just 1 off on their counts against the Drapion. So they swapped out trying to catch. And unfortunately, we probably wouldn't have won that game if they didn't swap out because we wouldn't have lived the 1 Incinerate. Unless it was damage registration error, of course. So there's that possibility. Waiting for the next opponent. We've started to enter the Q time zone. Here we go against Seviper. Primeape into Fortress. I mean, theoretically, it's a neutral matchup in terms of the damage we're inflicting. However, we outpace so significantly. This seems like a pretty good matchup for Primeape, in my opinion. Now, we know that this is just a Rage Fist, or sorry, a Rock Tomb after 4 Volt Switches, but I'm still going to shield because, once again, I just outpace so significantly. It seems worth it, in my opinion, to invest in the health of Primeape. Shadow Primeape, one of those Pokemon, even when you're taking resisted damage, sometimes it feels like it's worth the shield to preserve that health. Now we are single boosted. We've got back-to-back Rage Fist here. Going for the first one, bang. Second one, gonna draw the Protect Shield. I wonder if I pivot here or if I just let myself get farmed. I pivot. Don't want to give Golisopod too much energy, and I actually decide to shield, knowing that Aqua Jet does a considerable amount of damage. Oh, the X Scissor, though. And then I go for an Aqua Tail here, thinking it should be enough from this range despite being resisted. It is enough. And it's a low kicks in the back. Whoa. Not sure why I'm crunching, honestly. Maybe I'm fishing for a debuff, but kind of a weird decision to crunch there. Doesn't really make a lot of sense in my opinion. But we still get to a parting Aqua Tail. And Aqua Tail gets the shield. You know what? Maybe I thought that they would shield and I was fishing for like a debuff potential. I don't know. But either way, assuming Lokix is running X Scissor Trailblaze, they're not going to be able to threaten our Corviknight at all with their energy. And we're able to take the win there. GG. This team, sometimes you just come up with a team on the fly, on the spot, and it puts in a lot of work. And that was exactly what occurred with this team right here. I ran Primeape, the regular version, and Corviknight in my tournament in Monterey this past weekend where I got top 8. So I like that core, along with Drapion, of course, one of the most common safe swaps. Here we play a Bastiodon in the lead, which is an amazing lead. However, they swap in an Annihilate, and Annihilate does kind of beat our whole team. So we're going to have to tag team this. I try to catch a potential Rage Fist on Drapion, but I'm unsuccessful. So it's an Ice Punch. And now things are a little bit awkward. We go for the Aqua Tail here immediately. Going to force them to put up a shield or let Annihilate go. They let it go, which probably helps us a little bit. I'm going to overfarm a lot here. And I think I make a bold play here. So I do one Aqua Tail, I do 2 Aqua Tails, and rather than just letting him smack me down here, I actually decide to pivot aggressively into Primeape. So I figure the sand attacks from Corviknight will add up against Bastiodon, double super effective, and we lure out a Superior, and this is perfect. And in this situation, I'm just going to commit to the Ice Punches because either we do a lot of damage or we draw both Protect Shields, which is going to be perfect for us. And now that we got both Protect Shields, I think we're in a really commanding position here for Corviknight. And check this out. They're actually running Leaf Tornado. So it was, I think, actually a big call and a big positive decision to pivot out. Because imagine they had gotten these debuffs. I still would have my Drapion as a resource to clear my debuff. And it's nice when a risky play like that works out a little bit. Granted, they didn't get the debuffs anyway, so I think we're in a pretty good position either way. Now we play Vitarello, one of the finalists at the Latin American International Championships. Amazing player. He swaps Drapion after the Blastoise lead, and I don't know if that was really a catch or not, because either way it's going to be an Aqua Tail. But we absorb it on our own Drapion, and at least the Karate Chops have kind of put this opposing Drapion into double Aqua Tail range. That's one positive here. And I decided to let this go because I figure even if he shields my Aqua Tail, I can aggressively pivot into Primeape. And then maybe surprise him with a Rage Fist. And look at this. I pivot at the last second right before getting farmed down. Go for a Rage Fist here. And he actually invests a shield to get off an Aqua Tail against Primeape. Is he going to reach a second Aqua Tail? Let's see. He does get off a second Aqua Tail, so this is not ideal. He gets both shields right back. But we are boosted. What's going to come in? Oh, Weezing. So this is kind of weird. Because Weezing will probably be able to sludge us and get rid of us. But he catches on Blastoise. And you know what? I think he might have lagged a turn, which is really unfortunate. I think that... I actually didn't really notice that at the time. And then I go for a cheeky catch here on 6. Which, which now... We have to hope we don't one-turn lag. Because if we one-turn lag, we probably lose. But I go for the Rage Fist here. And luckily we have just enough health where they do have to throw with Weezing. If he farmed me down, I think I probably am in a bad spot here as he goes for the Sludge. But because of the bulk of Corviknight, and since these Fairy Winds do not do very much, we should be able to survive and overheat from full health. Although it's not going to feel good. Bang. Corviknight bulky enough to hang on and get to the Iron Head. Yeah, so probably would have had to Sludge and then overheat in order to win, but I don't think he had enough energy for that since he had to use the Sludge. I think we might have got bailed out, though, watching that back with one-turn lag, so Vitrello might have had us there if not for the lag. We get a 4-1 set, a cute little Pancham as a reward, and it's on to the next set, 3020, back over that legend marker, that 3000 Elo echelon. Oh my gosh. Okay, this team was crazy. This team was crazy. A Celesteela. Celesteela with Smackdown. Amazing matchup for Primeape, honestly. Dude, look at how much that Rage Fist did. And we are boosted. We're still so healthy. He's going to aggressively swap into a Steel Wing Scarm. And I'm going to just stay in here. I mean, I really have no reason to switch right now. Primeape is just doing Primeape things, putting in a ton of work, doing a ton of damage. These Karate Chops looking like counters now. We get to another one. They've got quite a bit of energy, so I would presume they're going to shield this. Going to come in with my Corviknight to absorb everything here. Goes up to probably 100 energy before throwing the Brave Bird here as to not debuff himself earlier. And Scarm is going to bank a move. And they come in Corv. I decided to throw my energy here. Get it into like double crunch range. And I'm feeling pretty good about this situation. Because that opposing Scarm is really low. So I feel like as long as I save a shield for that, I should be pretty good here. They are going to get off a move here. But I know I can survive this attack. So I'm going to actually decide to let it go. And throw the Aqua Tail immediately, get rid of this Corviknight. And it was just an Iron Head, so we're actually not even in like farm down range. They come in with Celesteela. I throw Aqua Tail. They catch it, but that's perfectly fine with me. Sometimes you know your opponent might make a catch, but you're totally fine with it because that eliminates the charge attack that they have stored. And I'm going to go for an Iron Head here against Celesteela, against the triple Steel Flyer team. Shout out to this opponent for the Crazy Spice. Crazy Spice. They're trying to get on Spicy Saturday, maybe. What a team. What a baller team. See if I can skip ahead to the next one here. Alrighty. Next opponent. Love the sweatshirt. Dragonite lead is tough. Because not only does it kind of shred through our first two Pokemon with fast attack pressure, but we don't have any fast attack pressure on our Corviknight either. So I have to really try to be aggressive here. I can't stay in. It looked like Primeape doesn't even reach double Rage Fist because the Dragon Breaths do so much. They go for Superpower. That's going to benefit us a little bit because it's a little bit extra energy that they expended. And maybe that'll help us in the long run. They come in with a Weezing. I'm going to get off double Aqua Tail here thanks to my head start on energy. And now I figure they probably wouldn't counter swap if they didn't have overheat. So I'm going to respect the overheat. And we are able to successfully shield it, which gives us a full sting down. Really nice. Can't imagine Dragonite comes back. It's actually Basti. And I think what I decide to do here is build up a lot and then maybe go Primeape. Yeah, I build up a lot. I go Primeape. And I get off the Rage Fist here. And they actually let it go. They actually let it go. And I was pretty confident Dragonite didn't have an attack loaded because they had superpowered. So I get the Sting down. And I've got double Aqua Tail. I've almost got triple Aqua Tail. But we're just going to throw instantly. Make sure that we get off both of these. Or force them to throw a Stone Edge at that minimal health range. And now we're feeling pretty good here. Corviknight has enough bulk where it'll easily live one flamethrower. The question is, will it survive two flamethrowers? Because Bastiodon's not quite in Iron Head range. They do get to a second flamethrower here. But based off the damage that first one did, I should be able to survive. And then just going to go for the Iron Head. I feel like now it should be enough to knock out. I was debating the Sky Attack BM, but a Sky Attack would not have knocked out from there, in my opinion. So we go for the safe Iron Head. And we get the dub against the Bastiodon. Bye-bye, Bastiodon. Was nice knowing ya. Next opponent. Here we go. Primeape, Drapion, Corviknight. Amazing lead into Sandslash. Let's see what they swap into. If we have an answer to it. Annihilate. So, awkward safe swap for us. We don't really have a comfortable answer. Gotta be careful here. Rage Fist connects. That helps us. So now I'm actually going to swap in Corviknight. Just to kind of soak up this damage. And go for the farm down. They come back in with Sandslash, which makes sense. I think I threw in bad timing there. My mistake. Iron Head. Does some chip damage. Sandslash going to throw here. Will we reach the second Iron Head? Not sure. Ice Punch, nope. It is enough to knock us out. We're going to wait out our switch clock. Make sure we're not locked into anything. And what's going to be in back? It's going to be a Lapras. I decided to throw a Rage Fist. Maybe I get a shield or I put it into crunch range. Okay, so now it should be just about crunch range. Still a little bit awkward here, honestly, because our Primeape is now so low. So we're not completely out of the woods. Going for another crunch. Going to draw that first Protect Shield. We do get the defense drop. Overfarming, overfarming. I actually throw the crunch because I was a little bit afraid of a catch. But they let it go. And I go for the Aqua Tail here. But all of a sudden, I think we're in a rough spot because we don't have energy on Primeape. But I make the game-winning catch here. And now the Ice Punch doesn't knock out. They actually go for an undercharge. But that gives me one more chop. I lag at the end, which almost gives them another win con. But we're just going to settle for the Aqua Tail here. I feel like it should be enough. And that is a good game. Big win. Because if we had lost that, definitely would have got a good game message. But we avoid the good game message since we were the winners. It's only a good game if your opponent wins most of the time. Sorry. Some people don't like it when I talk about that. Anyway, or when I do my little complaining about that. I think we got a couple more battles here. Harry is the next opponent. Primeape into Morpeko. I would say good lead for Primeape, even though the Sims will tell you that Morpeko wins this in the 0s and 1s. Because you can kind of dictate it, right? And we're always just going to shield this. Psychic Fangs. Gonna build up one before the next. Throw the Rage Fist. I could, like, if they shield, I could go for a catch here on the Psychic Fangs on Drapion. But I decide, you know, safer play, just commit my shields. I'm going to stay in here boosted. Maybe this energy will go a long way. Dude, kind of crazy how much those Thunder Shocks do. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Boom! Oh, sorry. I got carried away. That was probably a little bit loud too. But look at this. Boosted Ice Punch. Bang. Oh my gosh. They swap in Corviknight. I counter swap Drapion because I can actually get in considerable damage here with my Drapion. Versus I come in Corviknight, it's just going to be taking longer. And we get the skillful defense drop. That's a joke. Nothing skillful about it. But we like to pretend. Sky Attack puts us low, but Drapeon's going to outpace here to 2 crunches. And when you get that first crunch debuff in this game, in this matchup, brother, you simply win the zeros against Corviknight. I'm a Corviknight supporter, but the Drapion situation is a matchup where it's kind of embarrassing. How do you as a Steel Flyer just simply lose the zero straight up to this poison type? Come on, Corviknight. I'm a Corviknight fan, but yeah, I do admit there are some matchups where it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. It's almost, you can't even think of it as like a steel type in a way. It's completely different than Skarmory. Skarmory like hard punishes things, or at least it did back in the day. Corviknight is like the most flexible pick that doesn't hard counter anything. We get that weird glitch where we like Q into the opponent and then it airs us out. And usually you end up like playing the same. I usually end up playing the same person when this glitch happens. Let's see if that happens. I think it does, if I remember correctly. We're waiting. Waiting on the world to change. We'll keep on waiting. Waiting on the world to change. It's hard to be persistent when you're staring at a distance. Okay. Primeape into Medi. Running Psycho Cut. Kind of the preferred moveset now. Remember, only 5 Psycho Cuts, 2 Dynamic Punch. So I go for a Rage Fist here. And then I decide to just instantly swap. And we make a catch in the process. So pretty nice. And what's even nicer is it ends up being an Ice Punch. I'm going to build up here with Drapion. We don't allow them to catch the crunch, which is really nice for us. Carbink is crazy. Medi Carbink team, what is going on? And we're going to overfarm here a lot with Drapion. Start to spam off these Aqua Tails. Drapion just being a menace here. Another Aqua Tail. Gets a shield. He lets us get to another Aqua Tail. Another one. Aqua Tail puts Carbink super low. I try to snipe with a Karate Chop. I'm unsuccessful. I kind of lost track of Medi's energy at some point here. So we go for the Rage Fist. They throw again. Now, not sure if I could have, like, farmed down at this stage. But I think I just throw after 1 to be safe. Rage Fist gonna connect. He does have a Moonblast loaded with Carbink if he wants to throw that. So I'm actually getting ready to swap into Corv right away. But it's a Furret. And then they transfer the Karate Chop. So rough game for Beelzebub. I think he would like to have that one back, but everything just kind of went our way that game. And a 13-1 run with Shadow Primeape. Absolutely going crazy. Going on a rampage is the Primeape. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just think it's one of the strongest Pokemon in the meta right now. Very safe. Really only gets punished by, like, Charmers, and there aren't a ton of those. So I've been liking this team. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. They help out the YouTube algorithm. And all of that said, thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.